Thank you, Your Excellency. I'm now pleased to welcome on stage Mr. Jean-Baptiste Chauvel, Regional Economic Counselor of the Arabian Peninsula at the Embassy of France in the UAE. Jean-Baptiste, please.
Excellencies, Monsieur le Ministre, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, ahlan wa sahlan wa mahlaban. As the Regional Economic Counselor of the French Embassy in the United Arab Emirates, this is a great honor and a true pleasure to open this third edition of Les Entretiens d'Abu Dhabi here at the Sorbonne, Abu Dhabi. Firstly, in the name of all the French Embassy, I warmly thank His Excellency Dr. Thani bin Ahmed Al-Zayudi, Minister of State for Foreign Trade, for his patronage. His support is of particular value, especially as regards the theme discussed today, the UAE toward an international hub of talents, which is a strategic objective in which he plays a major role in the government. J'adresse nos vifs remerciements à Monsieur le Ministre Jean-Yves Le Drian, qui nous honore de sa présence et de sa participation à cette édition. Je rends également un hommage particulier à Monsieur Jérôme Chartier, qui initia il y a près de 20 ans les entretiens de Royaumont, afin de faire rayonner l'esprit français. I'd like to sincerely thank Mr. Geoffroy Buntel, President of the France UAE Chamber of Commerce, and Mrs. Agnès Lopez-Cruz, Managing Director, for the organization of this event, as well as all the people and institutions involved in its preparation, the Sorbonne University Abu Dhabi, and of course the sponsors of this event, Total Energies, Shalhoub Group, Technip Energies, Société Générale, BNP Paribas, and Thales. This third edition of Les Entretiens d'Abu Dhabi is of particular importance this year. As part of the economic dimension of the strategic dialogue between France and the UAE, this edition takes place in a vibrant moment in our bilateral relationship. In the wake of the state visit of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan to France in July, this edition opens a space of common reflection on a key topic ahead of the first meeting of the high-level UAE-France Business Council to be held early next year. Transition to a knowledge economy, digitalization of learning, stimulation of innovation, the role of corporates, here are some of the main topics that will be explored this morning, but always with a compass. The aim to ensure a sustainable growth benefiting to all. Both our countries have dedicated determined efforts to strengthen their innovation ecosystems and attract global talents over the past years to increase potential growth and long-term growth. The presence of over 40,000 French people and nearly 1,000 French companies in the United Arab Emirates is a testimony of the ever-increasing attractiveness of this country. The last reforms on foreign ownership of local companies, visas, or intellectual property, to name just a few, are accelerating this momentum. On its side, France is also engaged in a continuous reforming process to prepare for the future. I will only mention the France 2030 plan, a massive investment plan focused on the key technologies of tomorrow in sectors like nuclear energy, aerospace, green hydrogen, or healthcare. With these reform agendas, our two countries have been consistently gaining ranks over the years in the Global Talent Competitiveness Index, published by INSEAD Business School, Portulans Institute, and the Human Capital Leadership Institute. The efficiency of these reforms can also be measured through innovation indicators. The Global Innovation Index, published annually by the World Intellectual Property Organization, shows in its recent 2022 edition a progression of the UAE by 2 spots, reaching the 31st rank globally and the 1st rank among Arab countries, with the 17th rank globally in the Human Capital and Research Indicator. On its side, France gained 4 spots over the last 4 years, with an interesting 3rd rank in training offered by companies. This dynamics is a virtuous circle, sustained by talents and attracting new talents. However, the spirit of Les Entretiens invites us to look further and think at a higher level, asking not only the question how, but also the question why, to not lose sight on our ultimate goals and to not reduce the subject of talents to a pure technical question for economists, businessmen, and governments. The famous French philosopher Jean Baudin wrote in the 16th century that there is no wealth except humans. 400 years later, these words are of particular resonance. Asking here at Les Entretiens d'Abu Dhabi, under the dome of the Sorbonne University, the question on how to build a talent hub comes ultimately to ask the question of the vision of the society we want to build. Exploring technical questions, strategic and tactical approaches to the so-called global talent war, as if we had not enough wars, makes more sense if we do not reduce the subject to the question of performance, transformation and resilience of our economies, but if we place it also towards the objective of increasing common good. Otherwise, we could surreptitiously drift away towards a materialist conception of humanity, considering humans just as an economic input, as reflected in the expression human capital. Indeed, developing a hub of talents is not only about attracting talents as if it was a limited resource on a global market. It is more about generating them domestically, growing them, and finally letting them flourish to the service of the community. In generating talents, our education systems play the most important role. They should be designed to bring out the best of everyone and develop the talents everyone possesses. The vocation of education systems is to transmit knowledge, scientific knowledge, but not less important, historical and cultural knowledge, what we call, by the way, humanities, while stimulating creativity and personal initiative. As a result, to produce human intelligence with awareness and a sense of responsibility. Because whatever powerful or impressive an artificial intelligence may be, it shall not be more powerful than human creativity, nor more impressive than human genius. That is why the place of philosophy and humanities is so important in the French academic curriculum, even the curriculum of our engineers. And this is truly a great satisfaction and pride to have 5 French schools in the UAE, as well as the Sorbonne University and other institutions like INSEAD. Growing talents means in particular developing systems of training all along the life. The role of companies here is key, and French companies in the UAE are very active in this respect. Among so many examples, I could mention the training programs of Emiratis engineer by Thales Emarat Technologies, or one of the many initiatives of Total Energies, like the Youth Hackathon organized in June, which included 30 students from 5 local universities. Our research and development programs and strategic cooperations will strengthen this pulling force of talents, thanks to the synergies to find between the UAE Vision 2030 and the France 2030 plan. As an example, in the energy sector, the comprehensive strategic energy partnership signed in July by both countries, ADNOC and Total Energies, will trigger concrete sectorial cooperations in technologies of the future, thus attracting and growing more talents. And finally, letting talents flourish means urging people to put their talents to the service of common good, to create collective value and social cohesion. And this can take many diverse forms. Ultimately, a hub of talents is not a closed circuit, but it lets its values shine beyond its borders. As we see, the quest for talents is not a zero-sum game. The reserves of talents are unlimited. The peak talent does not exist. Talents just need to be unleashed and steered to benefit the economy, but also the community as a whole. I will finish this too long speech by telling that if we want to think about talents and the construction of a hub of talents with the spirit of les Entretiens, we must open the box to new ideas and embrace intellectual boldness. Why so different countries as France and the United Arab Emirates have been so close for so long? Probably because they share a creative way of thinking and an appetite for non-conformist ideas. So let us be shaken up by thinking. Laissons-nous cette année encore bousculer par la pensée. Je vous remercie.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chauvel. Now we're going to switch to French. So for those of you who want headphones, please don't hesitate to wear them now. C'est un honneur d'accueillir maintenant sur scène Monsieur Jean-Yves Le Drian, ancien ministre de l'Europe et des Affaires étrangères de la France.
Bien, mesdames et messieurs, je voudrais d'abord saluer son Excellence le ministre Al-Zahidi qui nous a adressé la parole il y a un instant, remercier M. Chauvel de ses prises de position au nom de l'ambassade de France, dire à Philippe Chartier combien je suis ravi de le retrouver ici, dans ces conditions, étant lui-même promoteur des entretiens de Royaumont qui se traduisent maintenant par la régularité des entretiens d'Abu Dhabi. Je crois que cette contribution est tout à fait essentielle et merci de m'avoir invité et ravi aussi de saluer le président Geoffroy Buntel, président de la Chambre de commerce et d'industrie France-Émirats, qui est à l'initiative de cette rencontre. Et puis, évidemment, j'ai le grand plaisir de retrouver ici mon ami Zaki Noussaïb,